Hello, this is Kate, and happy Easter weekend. And this is your weekly tarot card reading. And actually today I'm not using tarot cards, I'm actually using self-care cards by Cheryl Richardson. Okay, so the first card that I drew is Courage. And the message on the back of the card says, "Take the leap, your courage will see you through." Okay, so coming into the week, it's all about kind of getting in touch with that courageous part of ourselves. So if you aren't feeling particularly courageous, or you might be feeling kind of vulnerable, one way to kind of align yourself with that courageous aspect inside yourself is to connect to a power animal. And in this particular card, it makes me think of connecting to like a very kind of almost an aggressive, very regal kind of power animal, like the lion. So it's just about connecting to that part of yourself that is very strong and brave. And some people have a hard time doing that unless there's a power animal involved. So that's one way that you can work with that. But I see that this card is kind of applying to two different things. So one area in your life that you might be needing courage right now is with relationships and communication. So about communicating clearly in your relationships and putting your needs forward. So actually asking for what you want, or maybe communicating something to your partner that's been bothering you or has been on your mind. And this often takes courage because sometimes we don't know how to communicate in a way that's empowering or effective, or how to communicate without things turning into either an argument or hurting the other person's feelings. So you might want to check out different forms of communication, like nonviolent communication, and there's all other kinds of models of communication that can be really helpful. But it's about communicating with those who we love and who are important to us, and communicating our needs and what we're needing in the relationship. And the other avenue where I see this card kind of referring to is with making career choices and putting yourself out there career-wise and making yourself vulnerable in that way. So kind of going after your dreams and actually kind of putting your best foot forward and really putting your creativity and your energy into something that's really important to you, whether it's writing a novel or working on some kind of piece of art, or just taking steps towards your dream career, even if that feels kind of frightening, or even if you don't feel like you're qualified enough or you don't feel smart enough to do it. This card is just reminding you that the more you align with that courageous part of yourself, the more you'll be able to move forward with confidence and power. Okay, so I'm just going to move this over. And the next card that I drew is Progress. And it says, "Charge forward, be willing to make mistakes." Okay, so again, this one I think is speaking to our kind of perfectionistic nature of waiting till we can do something perfect before we do it at all. And this is something that holds a lot of people back. And so this card, I think, is just a nice reminder to maybe kind of brush those tendencies to the side just for a little bit and just see what happens. And the more we kind of let go of that need to be perfect, I think the further we're going to go, or the easier that journey is going to be. So all about moving forward. And I think once you kind of lay the groundwork here and get your courage and feel really strong and powerful, it will be easy to move forward. But I think while these cards are very almost masculine and very powerful, it also speaks to a very vulnerable part of ourselves. So we can't really be strong or powerful in our lives unless we take risks and allow ourselves to be vulnerable, which means accepting the fact that we aren't perfect, and to move forward anyhow with things, even if we can't be guaranteed that we're going to win, or we can't, guarantee that we're going to do it 100% perfect, and we can't guarantee that we're going to be the best, or that no one else is going to do it better than us. So yeah, so it's all about kind of letting go of any kind of perfectionistic tendencies and really align with that energy of moving forward. So you definitely have that ability this week, particularly, of moving forward unhindered. So the only thing that's really kind of standing in your way here is yourself. It's not any kind of outside forces at this point. It's all kind of how you perceive your path to be, and what you perceive the obstacles to be, and your own kind of tendencies of being a perfectionist, or having to over plan things out, or just needing to wait till you get to that place where you feel really ready to charge forward. So the only thing stopping you is yourself, and the more you kind of let go of those perfectionist tendencies, the faster things are going to move for you. So the next card that I chose is time, and the message here is schedule a sacred date with yourself. You deserve time for your life. Okay, and I think I maybe talked about this in the last reading. I can't remember, but time is all about kind of being aware of how you're spending your time and where you're putting your focus and your energy. So if you're one of those people who always feels like there's not enough time, or there's never enough time for you to do the things that are important to you, you want to take an honest look at how you're spending your time, and what's going on there, and see if there's ways that you can make changes to your schedule, and or even just making changes to the way that you perceive time and the way that you deal with a really busy schedule, and see if that can kind of ease that feeling of burden, so that you feel like you have more time for yourself and more time to focus on what's really important to you. And I think also this card speaks to the importance of realizing that time is an illusion. It's not something that's real. So if you feel really chained down by time, and if you feel like time is really kind of closing in on you, or really kind of weighing you down, it's time to maybe reassess things, and really kind of meditate on time. And the more that you realize that time is something that doesn't even exist, it's kind of more of a conceptual sort of framework or a way of looking at things, it's not really something that actually exists, then you might feel a little bit lighter and a little more free. Yeah, so it talks about, schedule a sacred date with yourself. You deserve time for your life. So maybe just when you read these words, just notice what feelings come up for you. So notice if you feel a feeling of relief, if you feel joyful, if you're laughing maybe. Just notice how this message resonates with you. And I think that most of us know what we need to do in order to schedule a sacred date with ourselves and make time for our own lives. But this card definitely speaks to that feeling that we get. I'm just looking at the timer, that feeling of urgency, like we're running out of time. And so once again, the end of the week particular could be a really good time for you to kind of reassess how you're spending your life and how you're spending your time, and what's important to you and what you came here on this planet to do. I think that's the kind of message, is noticing what it is that you came here to do, and are you doing that right now, and how can you do a little bit of that each day so that it feels like your time here is definitely worthwhile. Yeah, so I hope you found this helpful. My name's Kate, and thank you so much for joining me.